Welcome back, crew. It's February and we have a brand new game of the month. And I'm excited for this one for a couple of big reasons. There's a lot of firsts for the channel along with this game. So, big shout out. We're going to be reviewing the Monty Python Curricular Medieval Reenactment program, which is so hard to say in an opening of a video. But I'm excited for that as our game of the month. And yeah, just you can't see it well on the video. You see, role playing game is crossed out. That's one of the themes they stick with. It's a curriculum, not a role playing game, and kind of biting into the humor of Monty Python on that side too. So, really excited to have this as our game of the month. Because I mentioned there's a couple of really cool firsts for the channel with this. The biggest one is this will be our first game of the month where we're actually going to have our end of month game run by the creator himself. Big shout out to Brian Saliba. I believe I pronounced that right. I hope I did. Who will be running the game for us, the creator of the system. So we're going to get to see how this game is played or should be played from the creator themselves. This will be the first time we've done that. It's kind of like Meet the Maker mixed with our game of the month, and I'm really hyped for this one to go through. Uh, Also with this too, the Monty Python Curricular Medieval Reenactment program. Probably the last time I'm saying that during the video. Goes on sale March 5th. So we're going to do all of our Game of the Month stuff before the game even gets to go on sale. Another big first for the channel, and I'm really excited to be able to do that. You get to show off this game before it goes on sale, and hopefully kind of shine some light on it. Because one of the cool things with this is on my most anticipated games. I think it was my 2023 version or kind of my 2024 one. As soon as I saw it was coming out, I missed the Kickstarter, but was still super excited to see this one out there. I think this would be a fun niche for a lot of tables. I feel like Monty Python, especially the Holy Grail, influences a lot of TTRPG play. So it'd be cool to have like a certified reference for this one. But if you're new to the channel, what we do is each month we pick a new tabletop RPG or curriculum in this case, and spend the whole month dedicated to highlighting the cool pieces of it and going over everything you need to know to play. So, like today, we're going to be going over our first impressions of the system, just kind of what we found leafing through the book and kind of what we've heard about it just in the ether. The next video will be going through how to make a character utilizing the system's rule sets, showing everything you need to know to bring your character to the table with this system. The next one will be going over the core mechanics of the system, pretty much everything you need to know to play the game, combat, dice mechanics, everything that goes along with it. And we're going to end the month with our actual play of the system, February 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, run by the creator himself. Brian will be GMing this game with me as a player, and you get to see the system run, see all the cool things about it from the creator themselves, and get a chance to win a free PDF copy of the core rulebook. So big shout out to Brian on that side. And then as always, we'll wrap up the month with a review of the system, going over everything that we liked about it, things that may not have clicked with us, and things we're excited to see for the system in the future. Yeah, let's dive right in. So this is our first impressions. One of the big things, and two big things I kind of highlight, and this is probably one of my favorite compliments I can give to a system that's emulating or creating a setting or existing property, I should say, is the book or the writing. From what I've read so far, the art, it all feels like Monty Python. It gives you that same humor type. It gives you that same feel. I think that's the kind of the biggest compliment you can give to a system that's emulating a style. So it feels like Monty Python, that art, everything that goes through with it. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of that, especially as I start doing some of my hard reading of the book. Uh, the other big thing too is the book's pretty funny too. Like just going through, like even like the curriculum, not TTRPG piece. It's kind of like the way that the book presents a lot of the mechanics is like a reenactment. So like, even like some of the core like Monty Python properties, like they present as like kind of details for how you could reenact them, which I thought was just funny. I like how they stuck with the bit throughout too. Kind of along with that too, the game master in this is called the head of light entertainment, and they abbreviate it as whole. So if you're the game master, you'll be the whole for this one. I'm not the game master this time, so Brian will be our whole. So with that too, there's one of my favorite mechanics. I haven't read in depth on this. I saw this, I think, from the Kickstarter, I believe, is like your players can hold a mutiny and like I don't know if they elect or just take over and somebody else becomes the game master. I don't know if we'll do that because we got the creator with us, but it's one of those funny things I think that'll just be fun for a lot of people at the tables and especially for one shots. There's some crazy scenarios going. With that too, and I know for a lot of you guys, like even kind of for me, it can be a little bit more like maintaining tone side, or worried that the chaotic players who are naturally chaotic may take this system a little too far. One of the things I really appreciated, I think it was in the character creation or maybe in the dice mechanics section, it mentioned for the players when they're role playing their PCs, don't try to be too chaotic. Don't try to be try hard funny. So I really appreciated they laid that out that they said the humor will naturally come along with the system and kind of the crazy scenarios your head of entertainment can push you in. So I like that they spelled that out. Hopefully that'll stop some of the antics for people that just see it's Monty Python and just want to go all in on crazy stick, trying to be funny and typically probably ending up unfunny. So I like that they put that in there. But overall, it's kind of hit the system a little bit. It's a narrative system, so it's very focused. Like I saw a number of different parts where it really kind of focuses a player in on describing their actions. So it's really kind of fiction first with the dice mechanics second if needed. But speaking of the dice mechanics, it's one of those I initially thought it was a joke, but I had to keep reading it and confirmed. They've got some crazy dice for this one. So they've got like all your usual dice, like a D20, D12, D8, 6, all that. They also have some specialty dice for this system that you can either utilize a dice roller to roll, or they do sell kind of a pack with their specialty dice included. There's a DC 30. There's a DC 18. This is the one that I've seen DC 30s before, but the DC 18 was like, oh, they're joking with me. DC 16 and DC 14. So one of the things I've noticed with this too, and we'll go really in depth during the character creation session, is your skills will be one of those different dies, or your talents, I believe they call them. And their talents will kind of range between the serious side and the funny side, with your die somewhere in between there for which one you'll roll. Because like the serious side is the D30, I believe it is, and the funny side is the D4. And we'll kind of go over what that means for the mechanics. But it's just one of those things I thought was interesting. Some cool dice, some wacky dice you get to pretty much never roll outside of this. So it'll be kind of fun to see how that plays. We'll be using the digital dice, all that side. But if anybody does have the dice set, shout it out or shoot some pictures in the chat too. I'd love to see how they look too. Uh, with that too, one of the big things, and this is something I've mentioned before that I love when core rulebooks do, and I think this is probably the most I've seen in a core rulebook, is they've included pre-made adventures for the head of entertainment to run for the crew, or even just game masters to be able to go through and look at for inspiration on how the system should be run. It's a big help for me when I'm doing the games a month to see kind of what the creators prioritize and kind of what strings to pull for the players and how to set up encounters. And this book has 10 different ones. And the nice thing is they arrange them or kind of have options from novice players, game masters, all the way up to expert, with three different ranks within there. So I thought that was really cool, giving those a lot of different tools for the game master on top of the adventures. They have a ton of different, the bestiary with a ton of different characters that are kind of familiar for the Monty Python fans. Just a lot that really goes into it. The last big thing I'll say with the first impressions too is I really like to where the kind of the reenactment guides, where they give you a lot of information about the different some of the factions you'll see within the movie. Like there's a spot for the Knights of Camelot, for Rome, like for Life of Brian. And there's all of that in there. So if you had a Monty Python movie that's your favorite, you can kind of go through and get some information and things and how to build out your reenactment to capture that. But overall, those kind of like the big pieces. I'm really excited to dive into this one. I'm really excited to bring this to the crew, the community ahead of the release too. So in the comments, shout out things you're curious for in this system, and we will definitely kind of highlight those in future videos. But I'm also going to put a link to the Monty Python TTRPG website or curriculum website, so you can go out if you want to pre-order this or buy this once March 5th hits. Because I'm excited to be able to review this one before it's officially out. So big shout outs to Brian for letting us do that early, coming through a or kind of entertaining for us, and letting us get to have poke around with this fun system. Shout outs on that side. I'm going to be out, and I'm at the time this is airing, I'm going to be in Mexico, so I'm soaking up the sun. But I will get any comments as I get back into the states. Hope everybody enjoys this one, and looking forward to diving into February into Monty Python's Curricular Medieval Reenactment program. Well, see y'all next time.